Imagine you're late for work. And you realize right as you leave for work, you're late already. Oh crap, I need to stop and get gas. So you stop for gas, you're at Chevron or Shell, pick a place, I don't really care. And there's a giant line. And this is the only gas station you have. You have to go to this gas station. There's a long line of cars. And that makes you even more late for work. It compounds the problem. Who do you blame? You're late for work. You get to the gas station, and there's a long line, it makes you even more late. Who do you blame in this scenario? You can blame the car. Well, the car didn't get me there fast enough. If the car was faster, I would have got to work on time. Or do you blame maybe the traffic or the line? You go, the long line of cars, it's the line's fault. There shouldn't have been so many people. No, it's absurd. You wouldn't blame the car. You wouldn't blame the long line of people. You blame yourself because you created this scenario. You were irresponsible a long time ago, and that caused you to be in this situation right now. You created this problem. So the New England Patriots were a mess early in the season, and they created a problem. Their mess was that they did not have any wide receivers. So what the Patriots did, the Patriots made a last-minute trade for wide receiver Josh Gordon. Said, we'll go get him from the Cleveland Browns. Maybe that will solve our problem. And if you know the news recently, Josh Gordon did not solve the Patriots' wide receiver problems. In fact, he left the New England Patriots. And then after that, the NFL suspended Josh Gordon for an indefinite amount of time for violating the league's substance abuse policy. Let's go back at the history of Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon was dismissed from his team in college, from Baylor. He had trouble with the Browns. He's had issues documented all the way back to middle school. He's had problems with drugs. And first of all, it's really sad what happened with Josh Gordon. I have been around addicts. I've been around people. I'm assuming, right, that's the problem he's dealing with. I'll read you the quote that Bill Belichick gave in a minute. But I've been around people that have had those issues. It's sad. If this is what's going on with Josh Gordon, I feel for the guy. He's quoted saying mental health issues. Again, the league suspended him for violating substance abuse policy. So my guess is probably drugs or something like that. I don't want to assume, though. I don't want to shed Josh Gordon in a worse light than he deserves. But here's what Bill Belichick said about this. I'm going to read a quote. Bill Belichick said this. It's obviously an unfortunate situation, and personally, I hope and wish for him the very best, as we all do on this team. He's made a statement. The organization made a statement. The league has made a statement. I've spoken to him at length over the last 3 months, and so I don't really have anything at this point to add to that. It's a private matter, and I hope that he's able to deal with it successfully. So Bill Belichick basically said, look, it's a private issue. There's nothing more I can say. The league made a statement. The team made a statement. Josh Gordon made a statement. And all the statements basically said he's leaving because of mental health. So look, I respect it. I don't want to pry. I don't know. I like what Bill Belichick said. But here's the takeaway. The end result is this. The Patriots are back to square one. They have the same problem now that they started the season with. The Patriots still do not have a marquee wide receiver. And you don't want to say the Patriots have no wide receivers. They just have inadequate wide receivers. They have Cordell Jones and Julian Edelman, who's not a bad wide receiver, but he's not a deep threat over the top. They have Chris Hogan, who's, again, not a problem. Safeties are not afraid of Chris Hogan running deep. I don't know. Here's the problem without having Josh Gordon. If you watch the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, there's a play where the New England Patriots ran play action, threw the ball 15 yards downfield over the middle to Josh Gordon. The reason why Josh Gordon was open is because the safety over the top, safety in the middle of the field, had to respect Josh Gordon's speed. And so he backed way off. It allowed vacated a space in the middle of the field. Tom Brady threw a deep dig, I think like for a 19-yard gain. Without Josh Gordon, the Patriots have nobody to affect the way safeties play, which means safeties will not give as much of a cushion. Everything on the field is going to get tighter and closer to the line of scrimmage, and there's nothing the Patriots can do about it. It will be easier to stop the run against the Patriots. Their passing game is going to get even tighter. The windows are going to shrink and get smaller. New England's going to greatly suffer because of losing Josh Gordon. There's nobody for safeties on defense to respect. It's a big deal. It's going to hurt the running game, passing game. Everybody's going to struggle. Remember Rob Gronkowski, the old, the once Pro Bowl tight end Rob Gronkowski is not himself. He's struggling. His play is declining. He doesn't look like the same athlete he once was. Weirdly enough, Julian Edelman is the best remaining wide receiver. He's been dropping a bunch of passes. It's uncanny. The Patriots have a really big problem at wide receiver. Who's to blame? Again, is it the car's fault? Is it the gas station's fault? No, it's the person who created the problem. Who created this problem in New England? Why do the Patriots not have any wide receivers? I hate to say this, it's Bill Belichick. This is Bill Belichick's fault. Tom Brady does not have the help he wants. Everyone wants to say, Tom Brady's old. This is the reason why the Patriots are struggling. It's Tom Brady's age. He's declining. You've heard reports for weeks. It's very lazy to blame the Patriots' struggles on Tom Brady's age. It's the obvious story. Like, he's 41 years old. Everyone would say, Tom Brady's really old. That's the problem with the Patriots. Watch the Steelers game. Watch the Pittsburgh Steelers-Patriots game. Tom Brady he moves really well in the pocket. He's sliding. He avoids the rush. His arm is fine. He can make every throw. He's got a better arm than a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. Better than Colt McCoy. Better than Josh Johnson. Better than Nick Mullins. Guys who are starting in the NFL. Tom Brady has a better arm than them. I saw only one instance where you could even attribute that to Tom Brady's arm not being strong enough. There was a play where a wide receiver broke open late on a corner route. He ran right past the defender, so there's no one behind him. Tom Brady was late to the throw. He tried to hitch and throw the ball like 45 yards into a really tight window way downfield, and lo and behold, he missed because almost nobody can make that throw. Like Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, that's probably it in the NFL. Like maybe Cam Newton. Pick a guy who has a huge arm. Nobody over 40 could make that throw, and Phillip Rivers couldn't, Drew Brees couldn't, Tom Brady couldn't, Big Ben couldn't. It was a throw that's almost impossible. So my point is this. If that's the one instance you can point to where, oh, look at Tom Brady's arm, it's declining, you go, nobody in the NFL can make that throw. Like Patrick Mahomes, that's it. My point is this. Tom Brady's arm declining is not the issue here. His age is not the problem. The problem is the issues with the Patriots roster. I don't know. Don't tell me Tom Brady's old. Here are the problems with the Patriots. And look, the Patriots are in a bad place. Their defense is struggling. They do not have a number one wide receiver. There's nobody to challenge safeties downfield, which means that the field's going to shrink. Safeties that used to stand 12 yards off the ball will stand 8 yards off the ball. They're not going to backpedal as quickly off the line of scrimmage. They're going to help in the run game. Everything is going to get tighter for the Patriots. They are going to struggle on offense because they're missing Josh Gordon. They don't have a number one wide receiver. Here's what's even crazier, though. This is what I did not expect to be a problem with the New England Patriots. I watched the Steelers-Patriots game, and you would expect going into the game, you think, okay, the Steelers are kind of a chaotic organization. They're always talking about their coach, and there's always drama everywhere. You go, it's the Patriots. The Patriots on the other side are buttoned up. They're organized. They follow the rules. They're straight-laced. If I told you one of these two teams had 14 penalties, the Patriots or the Steelers, you would say the Steelers clearly screwed up a bunch. That's what would have happened. I mean, the Steelers are the team that a couple weeks ago stopped the Chargers on fourth down and got a penalty allowing them to kick another field goal and win the game. This is what you're dealing with in Pittsburgh. However, it was not the Steelers that struggled with discipline. It was the New England Patriots. Against the Steelers, the Patriots had 14 penalties, allowing the Steelers 106 yards. It's awful. This is the worst place the Patriots have been in years. They're not organized. Their defense is struggling. Their offensive line is struggling. They don't have a wide receiver. Their quarterback is old. I love him, but 5 years from now, he's not going to be playing. The Patriots organization has never been as in bad a place as they are right now. We've seen the roster, we've seen the problems of the Patriots already begin to affect Tom Brady. I'm going to make an example real quick. You'll understand it in a minute. I work in the film industry. I work for television networks. And I grew up loving photography. It was a big thing I used to enjoy a lot. And I was around a lot of photographers. And what you will often see with amateur photographers is they'll take a bad photo and they think if they edit the photo enough, they can make it into a good photo. Oh, I just need to add more contrasting colors. I need to shade this and add a vignette and do all that stuff. And I'm sorry to tell you, if you have a bad, crappy photograph, you can't save it with editing. If you edit it a bunch, it's still a bad photograph. Now it's just a bad photograph with a bunch of editing. Tom Brady's trying to save the bad Patriots roster by doing a bunch of stuff. He's forcing it, and you can't save the bad roster, no matter who you are. I want to highlight 2 uncharacteristic plays from Tom Brady in the last couple weeks. Actually, I want to pause that for a minute. If you remember, Sam Darnold in college had a ton of interceptions. There was a big, big deal. Everyone said, how could Sam Darnold have a bunch of interceptions? And here's why I didn't hold it against Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was playing teams that had better athletes than him and were better coached than him. Sam Darnold was overmatched. So to make up for the discrepancy, he had to take a lot more risks. I mean, you think USC, Ohio State a couple years ago was a fair fight? No, Sam Darnold was greatly outmatched. So I always defended Sam Darnold. I said, look, his interceptions are not a big deal. He's dealing with lesser talent. He's still doing that with the Jets, by the way. This is why he's throwing so many interceptions. Yes, he's making mistakes, but he's also taking unnecessary risks. Actually, I would say maybe they're not unnecessary. He's taking risks to help his team because they are outmatched. Not only did Sam Darnold do that, not only does Sam Darnold still do that, apparently Tom Brady's doing that too. Tom Brady's overmatched, and he's taking, I don't want to say unnecessary risks. He's taking risks, though, that he wouldn't normally take because he's forcing it and trying to help a bad roster win games they do not deserve to win. Here's the first example. December 9th, the New England Patriots were playing the Miami Dolphins. Right before halftime, the Patriots have the ball in scoring position. They're in the red zone. I think it's 3rd down, and if they don't get this conversion, they just kick a field goal. We go to halftime. The Patriots get another 3 points. We saw a really weird play before halftime. Tom Brady had the ball. No one was open. And instead of throwing the ball out of the back of the end zone like you would always do, a veteran quarterback, you don't take a sack in the red zone. Tom Brady, with the time expiring, without a timeout, instead of throwing the ball out of the back of the end zone, he holds the ball, he slides around trying to find more time, and attempts to throw a touchdown and got sacked. And because of the sack, the clock ran out, and the Patriots were not given time to attempt a field goal. That cost the Patriots 3 points. The Patriots lost 33-34 on a miracle last-second play, and that was the difference in the game. Was that sack in the red zone right before halftime, something that Tom Brady never does, cost them the game. Yes, you can argue other stuff, but that was a huge critical moment. Tom Brady doesn't make that mistake in the red zone, not normally. Unless Tom Brady's pressing. He's making more mistakes than normal. Why is Tom Brady making mistakes in the red zone? He feels like he cannot afford to kick a field goal. He needs a touchdown because his roster isn't good enough. That's not his job to determine, but that's what I think is happening in his head. Last week, Steelers-Patriots. Great game, by the way. Patriots have the ball, 8 minutes left, and they are close to scoring. The Patriots are on the Steelers' 16-yard line. They're 16 yards from a touchdown. 2nd and 16, 2nd and goal from the 16-yard line. Tom Brady's pressured. Instead of throwing the ball away or checking it down, the check down wasn't open anyways. He should have just thrown it away. Instead of doing that, though, he steps back, tries to scramble, throws the ball up along the right sideline, and it's intercepted. Nobody was open. Nobody was there. He's forcing it into an area that's not open. Why is Tom Brady making these mistakes? Why isn't he patient? Why isn't he throwing the ball away? Tom Brady's forcing it because he feels like he has to. He feels outmatched. He feels backed into a corner, and he's trying to overcompensate. You can't save a bad photograph. If it's a bad photograph, no matter how much editing you do, sorry, it sucks. It's blurry. It's hard. You can't see it. Tom Brady's trying to do the same thing with the Patriots. You can't save the roster. It's over. I love it. I love you, Tom. I wish you could. You're not enough. No matter how many risks you take, no matter how many bad throws you try to make over the middle, how many deep balls you try to throw, it's not going to work. You don't have the help you deserve. It's not Tom Brady's fault that the Patriots are struggling. And Tom Brady's trying to make up for the lack of roster balance, the lack of help. And he's throwing bad interceptions, making him look worse. Here's what's weird. Everyone wants to say Tom Brady's age is the problem. Again, his arm's fine. His legs are fine. Tom Brady's making uncharacteristic mental decisions, making bad decisions at 41 years old. A veteran quarterback doesn't do that unless there's a reason. They're pushing and they're pressing because they feel outmatched. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots are outmatched on offense, and it's really affecting their franchise. Hi, my name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. Honestly, I hate doing these little pitches. I feel like kind of a used car salesman, but I have to tell you, if you don't subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports, please do. Subscribe on YouTube, on iTunes, on SoundCloud, Spotify very soon. It helps me. It means a lot to me. And if you really like Strong Opinion Sports, tell your friends. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow by telling your friends about the show. My name is Zach Schaumler. Thank you so much, and have a great day.